Have you ever caught yourself thinking that the world has become too fast, too smooth? We live in an age of touch screens and instant messaging, but our memory is an amazing thing. It doesn't store files and links, it stores sensations. Remember the weight of a telephone receiver in your hand? The smell of a heated lamp in a TV set? Or that distinctive click when you close the door of a cassette player? These things weren't just objects. They were our companions. They demanded our patience, our attention, sometimes even our physical strength. Today we will take a trip back in time, back to a place where things were repaired rather than thrown away, where waiting was part of the fun. We'll remember the everyday life and technologies that have disappeared from our homes but remain forever in our hearts. Welcome home. Remember the heavy, hallway-style rotary dial telephone? It was heavy, monumental, like an anchor holding the house in place. Remember that sound? The sound of the dial returning? Dialing a number was a whole ritual. If the number had a lot of zeros or nines, the call took forever. And God forbid you made a mistake in the last digit, you had to start all over again. We didn't have answering machines or caller ID. When the phone rang, it was like playing the lottery. Who was it? My aunt from Ohio? A school friend? Or just a wrong number? We would rush to the phone as fast as we could. And that cord, it stretched across the entire kitchen. It knocked cups off the table and tangled the dog's paws. But it was that cord that gave us teenagers our first taste of privacy. We would drag the phone into the closet or around the corner, stretching the cord to its limit so we could whisper something important to our first love. And of course, many remember party lines, shared lines. When you picked up the phone, Mrs. Johnson from the next street was already talking. You had to politely hang up or listen quietly, holding your breath. It was our first social network, only voice-based. Back then, a TV wasn't just a screen on the wall. It was a piece of furniture, solid, wooden, heavy, and it was warm, literally. The lamps inside heated up, and dust stuck to the screen, which we wiped off with our hands, feeling a slight tingle of electrostatic electricity. There were no remote controls. The youngest child in the family was the remote control. Jimmy, switch to channel 4. And Jimmy would get up and go turn the stiff knob. There were 3 channels, maybe 4, but we always had something to watch. The whole family would gather together for the Ed Sullivan Show, or the news with Walter Cronkite. Sometimes the image would start to jump, and you had to turn the vertical hold knob on the back. Antennas, those capricious rabbit ears. We wrapped them in aluminum foil in hopes of getting a better signal. Do you remember when the broadcast ended? Television didn't work 24 hours a day. After midnight, the national anthem played, the flag was shown, and the screen went dark. Only a small white dot remained in the center, slowly fading away like a dying star. Music required our participation. To listen to our favorite song, we had to carefully take out the record, blow away the dust, and aim the needle. This taught us to be careful. A scratch on vinyl was a tragedy that stayed with you forever, clicking in the same place for years. Then came cassettes. They gave us freedom,
and mixtapes, hand-recorded compilations. It was a true language love. You spent hours picking songs in the right order to say, "I like you," or "I'm sad." And if the tape player chewed the tape, oh, the horror! We carefully pulled it out, straightened it, and rewound it with a regular number 2 pencil, a hexagonal pencil, and a cassette tape, a perfect match made in heaven.
A completely different kind of music played in offices and home studies. The symphony of typewriters. It was the sound of work, the sound of thought. Each letter was typed with effort, permanently imprinted on the paper through the ink ribbon. There was no delete button here. Mistakes were costly. The smell of correction fluid, a white liquid in a small bottle, is familiar to anyone who has ever typed up a term paper the night before it was due. We would cover up typos, blow on the paper to help it dry faster, and type over it. But there was a certain honesty in this. The document was physical, tangible. The sound of the bell at the end of the line signaled, well, you've finished another thought. Come over on Saturday. We'll show you slides from our vacation. Today, this phrase sounds like a threat, but back then it was an event. We hung a white sheet on the wall, turned off the lights, and started the slide projector. In the darkness, accompanied by the hum of a hot fan, memories came to life. The colors on the Kodachrome slides were incredible, bright like candy. Those family photos projected on the wall were magical. Remember the sound of the projector changing slides? That click was instant nostalgia. Come over on Saturday. We'll show you slides from our vacation. Today, this phrase sounds like a threat, but back then it was an event. We hung a white sheet on the wall, turned off the lights, and started the slide projector. In the darkness, accompanied by the hum of a hot fan, memories came to life. The colors on the Kodachrome slides were incredible, bright like candy. Those family photos projected on the wall were magical. Remember the sound of the projector changing slides? That click was instant nostalgia. Make the picture 16 by 9. End of part 1. Thank you all for watching. To be continued.